A redo in one Morris County School District.
Yeah, the Rockaway Township Board of Ed reinstates Columbus Day after removing it from the school calendar. Let's get this story tonight. News 12 New Jersey's Marcy Rubin's out in Rockaway with more on this decision. Marcy.
Yeah, Kurt, we know this is a controversial issue that we've been talking about for a few years now, and we reached out to a history professor at Rutgers to get a little more insight after this all came to a head at this middle school in Rockaway Township last week when they decided to put Columbus Day back on the calendar after pushback from the community.
My motion is placing Columbus Day back onto the calendar.
The Rockaway Township Board of Education voting to reinstate the Christopher Columbus holiday after earlier deciding to replace it with Indigenous Peoples Day.
I don't think it's worth going to war for, so to speak. That is, the idea that we would have serious arguments and fighting in a local school district on this issue seems to me quite sad.
Camilla Townsend is a history professor at Rutgers who specializes in Native American studies. She's been following the controversies surrounding Columbus in recent years, as many municipalities, schools, and other institutions remove his name and take down statues, citing the explorer's treatment of Native Americans. New Jersey's Italian-American community has been fighting against that movement, saying taking down the Columbus name and monuments is an attack on their history and heritage.
That if we rename the Columbus Day holiday Indigenous Peoples Day, that in the interest of restoring dignity to Indigenous peoples, that somehow white Americans, or particularly Italian Americans, will lose in that change and that shift as it is made.
She says that doesn't have to happen. And while she does think Indigenous people should absolutely have a dedicated holiday, it doesn't necessarily have to replace Columbus Day.
We could talk about both kinds of histories. There's no reason not to. And I think if more people understood that in being more inclusive, more welcoming, in this country, literally and figuratively, we all stand to benefit.
So to that point, Marcy, what about Indigenous Peoples Day? Will that be back on the calendar next year as well?
Well, Brittany, that's a good question. The calendar, unfortunately, isn't out yet for 2021, 2022. So we don't know yet whether here in Rockaway they will have Columbus Day, that for sure. But will they also have Indigenous Peoples Day? We'll have to wait and see for the answer to that question. We are in Rockaway Township. Marcy Rubin, News 12, New Jersey.